I haven't heard people talk about Ultimate Frisbee in a long time, but I guess it's a hot sport out there in Silicon Valley here. So with you guys sponsoring it, what's sort of the visibility of the sport, and what do you hope to gain by the sponsorship?
Sure. Ultimate actually is an incredibly fast-growing sport. There's over 5 million people here in the United States that play, so that's actually more than the number of players that play rugby and lacrosse combined. So it's a really, really fast-growing sport, and at all ages, really from high school now up through people like me who are heading towards 50 years old. A lot of passion around the sport. And so it was very natural for us to get involved with a sport that is as dynamic as Ultimate. Now, in regards to why Ultimate, and specifically the Spiders, it turns out that at least the Ultimate teams out here, about half of the people in Ultimate out here work in high tech. And so we thought it was a great way to get our name out there into the high-tech world. You mentioned some of the names like the founder of Google and the founders of WhatsApp, the founder of Solar City, who actually is also the nephew of Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX. So there's a really strong community out here of high-tech people and how it overlaps with Ultimate Frisbee.
And what do you think it is? I mean, is there something about this sport that makes it more appealing than lacrosse or rugby or soccer or football or basketball, etc.? Is there something about it intrinsically that's appealing to tech people?
Yeah, I think there's a combination of things. One, it's incredibly dynamic. There's a lot of change that happens very rapidly on the field, and I think that dynamic nature really appeals to people in the high-tech industry, given how dynamic, as we all know, the high-tech industry is. You have to be really good at strategy, you have to execute extremely well, and you have to play with a lot of passion to win. So I think all those elements and the culture of Ultimate really are very appealing to people who work in high tech.
Okay, so you get all these people. They're really a
great match.
Let me jump in, Peter. All these people in high tech, all playing Ultimate Frisbee together. There's been a lot of criticism as of late, specifically coming from Carl Icahn on the eBay, PayPal front, about the incestuous nature of Silicon Valley. And in his particular case, he's pointing to the board members there that have had investments in what he considers competitors to eBay and to PayPal. What do you think? I mean, knowing that, all these guys sort of get together, they play Frisbee together, they're on boards together, is there any truth to the criticism that Silicon Valley is just too tight a club?
I think that, the club here is probably too close of a word. There's people who, I think one of the things that's really compelling about Silicon Valley and the strength of Silicon Valley is because of how open it actually is. When I look at why Silicon Valley has really thrived is because there's a constant influx of folks. Indian entrepreneurs, as an example, were non-existent here in the Valley just 15, 20 years ago. And now look at the Indian entrepreneurs and the successes that Indian entrepreneurs have had in the Valley.
Or Ukrainian, right? I mean, WhatsApp by Jan Koum. What do you think of that valuation? $19 billion.
It's certainly mind-blowing, I have to say that. I think that technology is a lot more pervasive in our lives. So I think that the valuations that companies are getting, I think part of it is well-deserved. And I think we're also perhaps in a little bit or heading into a bubble, or certainly in one right now.
You think we are heading or into a bubble right now on tech valuations?
It certainly seems from our standpoint that we're certainly mostly early stage investors, but as we look at the later stage rounds, some of these valuations are really heading up into nosebleed land.